Canada, China, or the United States. One of these countries is the second largest country in the world, but if you ask anyone which one it is, you'll get an answer, but someone else will give you a different answer, and then someone else will give you a completely different answer, and within a few minutes you start World War III. China, Canada, and the United States are all big, diverse places packed with all sorts of different kinds of people. Okay, maybe not the people part in Canada, but there's some trouble when it comes to figuring out who exactly is the biggest. Canada has established itself quite well as the second largest country, but there are some disputes that we'll get back to later. The real argument is between China and the United States for third place, so sorry about the false advertising there in the title. First, China has a lot of disputed territories, like Arunachal Pradesh and Aksai Chin with India, Taiwan with Taiwan, the Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands with Japan, the border with Tajikistan with France, and of course the Spratly Islands with pretty much everyone in the area. But how do you count disputed territories? A simple answer would be to not count them at all, but Korea and Palestine shows just how difficult that is. I mean, if you pretended all disputed land simply didn't exist, Israel, Palestine, and the Koreas wouldn't even show up on the charts. However, this doesn't affect China as much, so sources leave out the disputed territories. The US doesn't have disputed territories, other than the small islands they claim are part of Maine and Canada claims are part of New Brunswick, but it has a lot of island territories. These are a bit iffy, but they obviously count as US land, as in the US government has control over them and no one disputes that. But they're not integral to the country. And territories like Guam and Puerto Rico have been compared to colonial possessions. Of course, lack of democracy doesn't disqualify a country from the list, so it's best to include them since there's no argument that the US owns these islands. The only reason I brought up US territories is because so many other sources mention them, even though they're not actually that much of an issue. On the issue of water area, Canada actually gets put into the spotlight, as many point out how Canada is largely water area. Not counting any water, including inland water, which would be stupid, puts Canada behind China and the United States, as it has around 3 million lakes. Yes, million! How? Canada is around 8.93% water, compared to China's 2.82% and the US's 3.96 or 6.97%. So not including any water would put the West at, in decreasing order, China, US, Canada. We have to include lakes though. You might have noticed, however, that there are two values for the US's water area. Good observation. This is because the UN and the CIO World Factbook include territorial waters for the United States, but not for other countries for some reason. So if you don't include US territorial water, because it can be problematic for some countries, and don't include China's 137,000 kilometers of disputed lands, but do include the US territories and Canada's lakes, it comes out to the United States at number 4, China at number 3, and Canada at number 2, and Russia at number 1 with nearly twice that. It's really just a bunch of egotistical jerks messing with the statistics, trying to fool everyone, but everyone knows who really runs the world. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a like, share, and subscribe for more every Sunday. Why do I get the feeling this video is certainly going to start a flame war for no reason? Well, anyway, see you next Sunday.